I am the original T. Not about drama, let's get ourselves free. I am the original T. I'll tell you some stories, we'll look for that key. I am the original T. Let's talk about life, it's as fast as the sea. I am the original T. Let's all find a path, we'll live it and let it be.
Okay, so something new. It's Sunday, so I just get to hang out a little bit today and rest. A little bit. But I wanted to title this one Woo-Woo or Too True. So what do you think this is about? So we all have different sides to ourselves, right? And I have my corporate side, my business side, my playful side, my loving side, my sensitive side, my probably really sarcastic side, sense of humor side, spiritual side, and scientific side as well, I'd like to add. But I like to call this Woo-Woo or Too True. So Woo-Woo, now some of you will know what this means in the slang dictionary as people who are thinking of things that might be holistic, naturopathic, supernatural, spiritual, something that is not purely science driven yet. I like to say yet. For me, I look at this as something considered supernatural, and in one of my previous videos, I think it was my intro, I talked about that. It's natural. It's just very supernatural. So it's not magic. It's not witchcraft. It's just something that I think all of us have the ability to do. We have a way to tune in. I think we all have had times in our lives where we felt very connected to a moment, a person. I bet you anything, almost all of you have had a moment where you dreamt something that sort of kind of happened, or you had a sense of deja vu. Although we just had this discussion, hubby and I and the fam last night, about what deja vu is. And now I'm being told it's a scientific glitch, a neurological type of glitch in the brain. Okay, so fine. Okay, fine. So that's too true. But there's still some woo-woo, maybe. We'll think of another name for that later. But anyway, it's fun to call it woo-woo just for now. Just for now, I can take it. So I like to think of others who can relate to situations like, I don't know, something happening and you knew it was going to happen, or intuition. What should we call it? Intuition, gut instinct, all sorts of things like that. So in my lifetime, I've had quite a few of those experiences. And I've also had the chance or the opportunity back in the day to work with a woman who, she actually taught me how to read tarot cards. Now this sounds woo-woo, okay? So just hold on. I'd like to say don't judge, but right, you're gonna judge. So just turn it off if you're just like, oh God, no, please, no, girl, no. Just tune back into some of my career stuff. But I was a roommate with this woman who actually during the day she worked in finance. And when I moved in with her, I didn't know everything about her. I knew that she did tarot readings and readings for families and things like that. What I didn't know was one day I came home on a weekend. I walked into the house, and sitting at the kitchen table was her and two gentlemen who were police officers. One said he was a sheriff. They were in uniform. They had come to my friend's house because they had come before, and they worked with her on missing persons cases, but it was on the down low, right? Because woo, right? But she had actually helped in the past. This was back in the day, back when I lived in Arizona. One time when I lived in Arizona. And so she did that. And so when they left, I was like, what is that? What are you doing? And she explained it to me, and I was like, wow, okay, all right. You know, and I like to keep my mind open. You know, I like to see what can come in that's new and different. I don't want to just be rigid and miss out on different parts of life and people that are interesting. So that was really, really intriguing. And over time that I spent with her, she gave me tarot cards, and the reason she did isn't because she thought these cards had any power or that they were magical in some specific way, but because they were an illustrative tool. So say you're struggling with something and you need to think it through, and you need someone who's not your best friend or your family to talk to you about it, you know, just to get that third party view, somebody who might have some experience and can see you in a different light, just you as you, not you through your family's eyes or your loved one's eyes, just you, right? And so she said, these will be good for you because you can focus on each card and what it represents to you. She's like, there are books, you can look at the books and follow the books and do everything the books say, and you can do both. You can look at the books and you can also look at the cards and see what they say to you. You know, like green for new growth, right? Or pentacles for money, but money can be wealth. But what also could be wealth is health, right? Or new beginnings, or happiness is a form of wealth. So I learned all about this, and I took to it like a duck takes to water. And I started doing these readings, and I did them more and more. And I've done them throughout my life, even when I was .com girl, hairdresser girl, bartender girl who works in the funeral industry. But I don't tell the whole world, although it looks like it now, but you know, not really. I'm not going out on the street and telling my neighbors and scaring them. Because the thing is to me, that if I do meet someone who is frightened by that, there are people who that does scare, or they feel like it's got some darkness to it. And I'm really trying not hard. Okay, I'm just going to say it. If any of you know this reference of dark-sided. So some people think that this is dark-sided and it's dangerous. And, you know, I guess it could be if that's what's going on for you, or if those are your beliefs or your experiences. In my experience, they've just been a window to help me help others to look through and just to get an idea of what could be coming next, or what's going on now, or what could this mean. And it's a way of perception and thinking about the future and thinking about the past as well. So tarot cards, okay. After that, when I lived in Alaska, I told you I lived a few places. So there was a time when I lived in Alaska, and I started thinking that the cards were good. I mean, the cards were always good and interesting, and I always used them. But I also decided at one point to put the cards down and just talk to people, especially about people who may have already died, their loved ones, people who were very close to them, and maybe they were grieving. And so I researched, and I found that I could take a pencil and paper, pen and paper, and just talk to the person, hear their story, write some things down that just came not to my mind really, they just came, and I just wrote them down. And the idea was to not judge that, just write it down, just write what comes in and write it down, and that's cool. And if you're with somebody who's open-minded, that's what you can do. And I did readings for several different people that way as well. And I found some amazing things. And I found that in my case, for whatever reason, again, I told you it's not magic. I mean, there's nothing special about me that's different from you or anybody else. I think it's like a radio station, right? Like now you know how old I am. Like when you tune the knob, right? Back when I used to be a knob to turn. And you'd be in and out of the stations, right? And in between it'd be the fuzz, right? And then you click, and then you'd have a clear station, like Kiss FM or whatever. So you'd tune in, and you'd catch that little piece. And it was a message for that person who I was talking to. And it turned out there were times where I turned around and said, look, this is what I have. Something about buying, a car, or something about a Shelby, which I thought Shelby was just a name. I'm not an automotive expert, in case you didn't know. So I just said Shelby, red letter day, dates, to this lady I was talking to. And when I said that to her, she stopped and she said, wow, this is so strange, because her dad had died in an accident years ago, and apparently her mom and dad, when they first met, their first car they got together was a Shelby. I guess is it a Mustang? I think it is. I think it's like a Ford sports car. And they used to say, I guess, her parents always said, oh, that was a red letter day. That was so special to us. And so that's not like me, getting the numbers to the lottery, is it? But it's something that made that person feel like their connection was still there and open. And that the energy from that person, right? Because energy just exists. You cannot get rid of it. It has always been here, right? So I think that's too true. That's scientific, right? So the universe is long days and years and millennia old. And we come from somewhere. I'd like to say, I think this is too true, and maybe it's woo-woo to some, but we all come from the same place, and I think that's where we're going. But that's my opinion. Now, there is where we may have differences, and people might think, I'm going here, I'm going to this specific place, I'm going, or I'm not. Nothing's going to happen. It's just obliteration. It's just quiet nothingness. And so that's where I let it go and let it be. If you heard my theme song, which, by the way, my husband Ben wrote for me. I wrote the lyrics and he put it to music for me. Just last night. He's so creative. I love him for that. I love him for everything. But anyway. So, God, now I'm being totally blonde and lost my space. But what I really want to get back to is that it does help people feel connected to the ones that they've lost. And readings also are a way to help yourself. and just be introspective or just to understand what's going on, and it's kind of therapeutic. The other thing that I do, and I have always when I've done readings of any sort, is I do have a list of phone numbers and places and websites and therapists help when I think people are in trouble, and that I am not the person to help them. I can help them with my compassion, but I'm not a doctor, not a psychologist or a psychiatrist. And, you know, these are all pieces of a big toolbox, right? So, like, you may need a psychologist to help you with something because it's something you haven't learned before. Maybe you suffer from extreme anxiety or OCD, and you cannot shake it with all your heart and soul. You try, you've used all the logic you have, you're absolutely intelligent, but you just can't unstick that stuck. And when that happens, it just means that you need some information. That's all it is. And, you know, because mental health has such a stigma. Oh my God. So I come from California, where I'm just going to say it's like, it must be trendy to have your own shrink. Okay. So that's kind of Californian in some ways. But I moved to England, where it is definitely not spoken about as much. And in lots of cultures, it's not talked about very much, and it could be something people consider shameful, or people shouldn't know about it. But mental health is part of our health. We have physical health, spiritual health, mental health, and that is too true. That's science, people. That's not woo-woo, okay? So if your mind is doing things like keeping you awake, making you anxious, making you feel a certain way, and you don't feel okay, that is too true, and that needs real help, and that comes from licensed people who have the knowledge. And that's what it is. They have the tools. You go talk to them and say, look, these are the things, and I tried this and this and this, and it won't stop. How? Help. And they have information for you, right? So there are all sorts of things that tend to be on the woo-woo side and the too true side, and I like it. I like to blend them together, woo-woo and too true, because that's where all the good stuff is, right? Don't leave any stone unturned. Go look for it. Go see what you can find out. There's endless things to know and see and just be open to. And that could just be sitting under a tree, looking at a leaf. I know, now you're thinking, oh, she's a tree hugger. I probably have hugged a tree in my life. I have hugged a tree. And I have eaten granola as well. But again, I also have studied science. I do read. So whatever. I am woo-woo too true tea. How about that? Okay, so that's enough of that for now. But I would love to hear from you. And I know, see, I'm a new channel. I'm a new YouTuber, but I'm an old YouTuber in many ways. One in age, or let's say mature. I like that. It's kind of more Mrs. Robinson kind of thing. It's a bit sassier than just, I'm old now. Because we can be sassy at any age, right? Keep your sass. Never let go of it. But you can decide what you want to do, who you are. You can find all sorts of interesting new things to think of outside the box, right? So you don't have to, you can change your path at any time. It's open to you. And I just wanted to share that with you. It's a component of me and who I am. And you can be a blend of all sorts of things. All sorts of things. And I hope you are. And I hope you live with your arms and heart wide open as you can. I didn't always. I haven't always. It's taken a lot of time. But hey, the sooner the better. And yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was saying about being a new YouTuber. This is the thing. I'm not saying about the age and the brain, but anyway. I used to have YouTube channels back in the day and did okay. But then I took a very long hiatus, long days, and I'm just back now. So I realize I'm doing these videos, and right now, I'm the one looking at them. So if you see somebody's looked at this video 3 times, it'll be me checking to see, like, see if I missed anything, if I need to fix something, because I'm like that too. Anyway, but these videos are going to stay here, and you'll find them when you need to, right? When the time is right, if it's right, if this is right for you, you'll find it. You'll find me, I'll find you, we'll find each other, and that's how it works. That's woo-woo, and that's too true. And that is all I've got for you from T. So take care, and we'll talk again soon. It's bye for now.